If you've ever picked up your hamster and felt them go completely stiff in your hands, you weren't imagining things. That freeze response? It's not cute. It's terror. And if you keep making the same handling mistakes, you could be doing permanent damage to your hamster's nervous system. I'm going to walk you through the handling errors that are slowly breaking down your hamster's trust and potentially harming their physical health. Some of these might surprise you, because they're things people do every single day thinking they're being gentle. Let's start with the most common mistake, and it's one that happens within the first 3 seconds of picking up your hamster. You're reaching in from above. To you, it's just a hand. To your hamster, it's a predator swooping down from the sky. Hamsters are prey animals. In the wild, death comes from above in the form of hawks, owls, and other birds of prey. When you reach down toward them, especially quickly, their brain doesn't process, "Oh, it's my owner." It processes, "I'm about to die." This triggers an immediate stress response. Their heart rate spikes, cortisol floods their system. And if this happens repeatedly, day after day, you're creating chronic stress. Chronic stress in hamsters doesn't just make them scared. It weakens their immune system, can lead to wet tail disease, and in severe cases, can cause neurological damage that manifests as paralysis or seizures. So what should you do instead? Always approach from the side or front where your hamster can see you coming. Move slowly. Let them sniff your hand first. Better yet, let them come to you. Place your hand flat in the cage and wait. A hamster that climbs onto your hand willingly is 1,000 times less stressed than one you've scooped up. The second mistake is squeezing. I know you're not trying to hurt them. You're just afraid of dropping them. But hamsters have incredibly delicate skeletal structures. Their ribs are thin, their spine is fragile, and their internal organs are packed tightly together. When you squeeze, even what feels like gentle pressure to you, you're compressing their chest cavity. This makes it harder for them to breathe. Do this enough times, and you can actually cause rib fractures or damage to internal organs. I've seen cases where owners brought their hamsters to the vet with sudden paralysis, and it turned out to be spinal damage from repeated squeezing. The hamster wasn't dropped. There was no obvious injury. Just months of being held too tightly, until one day, something in their spine gave out. The correct way to hold a hamster is with a cupped hand technique. Imagine you're holding water in your hands. That's the amount of pressure. Your hands form a safe cave, but there's no compression. Your hamster should be able to move slightly and breathe freely. If you're worried about them jumping, use 2 hands and hold them low over a soft surface. Here's the third mistake, and it's one that almost everyone makes. You're handling your hamster when they don't want to be handled. Hamsters are crepuscular, which means they're most active at dawn and dusk. If you're waking your hamster up in the middle of the day to hold them, you're not just being annoying. You're disrupting their sleep cycle, which is essential for their health. Think about how you feel when someone shakes you awake in the middle of the night. You're disoriented, possibly aggressive, definitely not happy. That's exactly how your hamster feels. And when animals are repeatedly woken from sleep, it causes serious stress. This stress affects their ability to properly rest, which impacts everything from their digestion to their immune function to their neurological health. But there's something even worse than waking them up. It's ignoring their body language when they're trying to tell you they want to be left alone. If your hamster is backing into a corner, if they're flattening their ears, if they're showing their teeth, if they're making any kind of defensive posture, and you still reach in and grab them, you're teaching them that their communication doesn't matter. You're teaching them that they have no control. This is learned helplessness, and it's psychologically damaging. Over time, a hamster in learned helplessness will stop trying to defend themselves. They'll go limp when you pick them up. Some owners think this means their hamster has finally learned to trust them. But it's the opposite. It means your hamster has given up. They've learned that resistance is futile, so they freeze. This freeze response, if it becomes chronic, is linked to stress-induced health problems, including sudden cardiac arrest and stress seizures that can lead to temporary or permanent paralysis. The fourth mistake is handling them in the wrong location. Your hamster's cage is their territory. It's where they feel safe. When you reach into their space and grab them, you're invading their home. This is why some hamsters are aggressive in their cage but perfectly friendly outside of it. There's a better method. Instead of grabbing your hamster out of their cage, use a transport container. A small cup, a tube, or even a section of PVC pipe works. Let your hamster walk into it, then transfer them to a neutral space like a playpen or your bed. Once they're out of their territory, they're much more likely to be calm and receptive to handling. Now let's talk about the fifth mistake, and this one causes immediate physical harm. You're holding your hamster too high off the ground. Hamsters have terrible depth perception. When they're more than a few inches off the ground, they can't judge the distance. Some hamsters will jump anyway, and a fall from even 2 feet can cause serious injury. Broken legs, head trauma, spinal damage, internal bleeding. I've heard of hamsters dying from falls that their owners thought were completely survivable. Even if your hamster doesn't jump, being held high up causes extreme stress. Remember, they're prey animals. Being elevated with no escape route triggers panic. Their little hearts are racing, they're breathing rapidly, and their stress hormones are going through the roof. This kind of acute stress, especially if repeated, can absolutely contribute to neurological problems down the line. Always handle your hamster close to the ground. Sit on the floor. Hold them over a bed or couch. Create a safe space where even if they do jump, they won't get hurt. This one simple change will dramatically reduce your hamster's stress levels during handling. The sixth mistake is not washing your hands before handling. You might think this is just about germs, but it's much more than that. Hamsters have an incredible sense of smell. If your hands smell like food, your hamster might bite you thinking you're offering a snack, but there's something even more dangerous. If your hands smell like another animal, especially another hamster or a predator species like a cat or dog, your hamster will go into immediate defense mode. Sometimes, a usually calm hamster suddenly becomes aggressive because of something simple like the smell of a cat on your hands. To a hamster, that scent can signal danger, triggering extreme fear that may cause self-injury or even shock. Always wash your hands thoroughly with unscented soap so they smell like nothing before handling your hamster. Another common mistake is handling them too long. Even tolerant hamsters get stressed after 5-10 minutes. Extended sessions keep them on high alert, and chronic stress can lead to anxiety, aggression, and neurological damage. Keep handling short and let them return to their cage when they want. Trust is built by respecting limits, not forcing interaction. Mishandling during health checks is also risky. Avoid flipping them on their back or grabbing their scruff. Hamsters' neck skin isn't built for it and can be injured. Instead, use cupped hands and gentle lifting, and if your hamster struggles, try later or consult a vet. Consistency matters. Irregular handling or being gentle one day and rushed the next keeps hamsters anxious. Short, regular, gentle sessions help them associate your hands with safety, protecting both their mental and physical health. Key rules: approach from the side, use cupped hands, handle only when awake, use a transport container, keep them low, wash hands, keep sessions short, be gentle in health checks, and be consistent. If your hamster shows signs of weakness, stiffness, or paralysis, see an exotic vet immediately. Otherwise, implementing these methods today can make your hamster calmer and more trusting in weeks. Handling them correctly protects their health and builds trust. Every interaction counts.